What's up, y'all? Stay tuned to this next episode. We're talking about priorities. Get ready for another episode of You Heard What I Said podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of You Heard What I Said. I'm here with my main one, Kion, and we ready to get this episode going.
Let's do it.
Right. What's going on with you?
Oh man, what's up, Precious? I'm good. Life be life, and as the quoted from the infamous Precious. So I'm good.
Facts. Let's sip on something real quick before we get this episode started.
Let's do that.
Because I'm ready. All and everything.
Damn that straw look like a straw at Mardi Gras or something. Like what? That looks like a 10-foot straw you got there. Damn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just like, you can fucking suck out the. You can suck the ocean out of that one. What the hell?
Yeah, wait, cheers.
Cheers to you. Goodness.
You are funny. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Before we start, it's funny you talked about Mardi Gras because I did just come back from New Orleans. I think I talked about it. Did I talk about that in the last episode?
We have not.
Oh, it was a little quick in and out 2-night girls trip or whatever, but it was Mardi Gras season, I believe. I don't even know.
Hey, but check this out. I don't know if you remember that movie Girls. Was it Girls Trip, the movie where they went to New Orleans? And that was like a 2-night thing, and a lot of stuff happened in those couple of nights. A lot of urination going on and some other stuff. So I don't know what to be. You said quick in and out, but that quick in and out could have been a movie, so I don't know.
There was no urination incident.
Right.
But it was a quick girls B-Day trip for my bestie. So yeah, we had a really, really good time. I'll share some pictures with you guys.
Yeah, you definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that for sure. We'll put them in the episode somewhere. We'll add them in. So
because of your trip, I talked to my crew from growing up, and I think that we're gonna make a trip ourselves in a little less than 2 months.
Oh, so go. Okay.
So it's not a full go, but it's a full go, and it looks like it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the 4 of us. So we'll see. We gotta have a little meeting, but I think that we're gonna go, and I think it'll be the first time for 3 of us to hit the spot, but it'll be kind of a little mini reunion and everything. And so yeah, so it's gonna be interesting.
That's exciting. We went right the week of the Super Bowl, so it was a ton of people out there.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the energy was there, so it felt good. It was like, oh, okay, you could definitely feel the love of the city. So yeah, we had a blast.
You see a lot of football jerseys?
No, we didn't.
That's a weird question. Like, what the hell are you asking me that question?
We left like towards the beginning of the week. So we did like a Monday to Wednesday. I think that's what it was, like a Monday to Wednesday. So a lot of people were getting in on, that Tuesday and Wednesday. But we did run into Ocho Cinco. So we ran into him at a nice famous black restaurant. So yeah, we went there, took some pictures with him. I'll post that as well. Yeah, it was a good time.
CJ, I see he's one of my guys. I'm when I get a chance to listen to his podcast with his partner SS, that's a good one. And, I'm not. He's funny, and he got the brightest white teeth that you could ever see.
I know, right? I know.
I'm like, I need to get them pearly whites. You could be sued. The light could be out, and you can still see that brother when he smiles.
You wild. You wild. Oh shoot. Okay. I see what kind of episode this about to be.
Hey, and I haven't even been drinking yet. Just started.
Look. I put my straw back in, so it is
Hey,
what it is.
must be some good stuff though that you can't take a gulp of it. You gotta sip on it. So hey, it's all good.
I got that Ela. Oh, actually this time I tried Kevin Hart's tequila. So, shout out to you. I like it. It's a good one. Add a little rum to it. With a little cranberry juice and orange juice. Yeah. I'm feeling myself.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into these priorities because mine don't always be right. I be slipping every now and then. So let me see if I'm not the only one.
Yeah, and so what we're gonna do today in talking about priorities, we're gonna have a handful of questions, and each question is gonna have kind of a follow-up. So it's a question within a question, but we're gonna have a 5-minute timer. So kind of how you and I love to talk, and we can go on and on and on and on. But we got a limit. So so it's gonna be 5 minutes per question. We'll see how far we go, and the allotted time that we have. And we just go back and forth. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the question up first.
Okay.
And then we're going to set the timer. Because right now, I haven't figured out a way to have both of them on the screen at the same time. So we'll see. I'll read the question off, and then I'll put the timer up, and we'll talk about it.
See how that goes. Sounds good.
All right. So let me pull up. What'd you say?
I said I'll try anything once. Let's go. I told you my priorities. They out of whack.
All right. So that's funny. So I know we're kind of small here, but so you see where it says priorities on the right screen?
Yeah.
Okay, pressure. All right. So question number 1. The first question we got: what does the term priorities mean to you personally? And then the follow-up question is, do you think our priorities change over time? So this is all the same question. So what does the term priorities mean? And do you think that it can change over time? So you could start it off. As we go.
Dang, I wish you had got me ready. I would say priorities to me is something that I'll actually put first. I put my time and my effort into it. It's something that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop kind of everything and focus on that first. So that's something that's a priority to me. Something that is meaningful. So Now, what was the second part?
Is well, okay, hold on. Do you think our priorities change over time?
Yeah, I absolutely do think our priorities change over time. It just depends on what phase we are in life, what we have going on. I'm kind of like in my yes phase. Precious, you want it? Yeah. Like I don't even have to finish it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We book it. Yup. I'm there. So I'm kind of in that phase. But I mean, before my priorities, like I said, when they were kind of like off, it'd be, oh, I got this deadline to meet at work. And then somebody would call me like, oh, let's go get drinks or let's go eat. All right. the work can wait. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing because we tend to need to put like that happiness and that joy into our life. Right. Because if we're not like mentally good, there's no way that I'm be able to go back and focus on that assignment because there'll be other jobs. You know what I'm saying? But going out and enjoying and experiencing life, you know what I'm saying? You got to do that while you can. So yeah. I guess that's all I'll say because I don't want to take up all the time. What about you?
What's so funny? Well, mine may be quick, but when you just say that's all the time I got, man, I watched Inside the NBA with Kenny, Shaq, Charles Barkley, and of course the Don Juan himself, who narrates it. And there was this one little clip. And Charles Barkley was talking, and he was taking up the whole segment. And then Shaq got so pissed and so upset. It was like, it's not supposed to be, 3-1. It's supposed to be 3-1 to 2, back to 3, whatever. But he got
Right.
pissed because he took up the whole thing, and he was just like, "No, it's supposed to be this, not this." And you could tell, but he was pissed. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So,
So his priorities at the time were him. For
yeah,
him to get his point across.
it's supposed to be, it was like supposed to be 3-2 to 1, not 3-2 back to 1. So to me, priorities is what's important for your main goals. In terms of like the way I look at it. So we have priorities. One of your priorities could be. There could be a business side, business / work priorities, and then there also could be a family time / extracurricular priorities. Because there's different. Like I have business that I'm working on, and I have priorities for that in terms of what's important. 1, 2, 3. What's the most important? Because even though a lot of times what's most important in my situation takes up most of the time, but it's something that's needed for sure.
Right.
So I think priorities is what's the main focus that you need to be on to reach the common goal that you set to achieve, whether if it's short-term or long-term goals. Do they change 100%? Because I have a little things to do list that I have, and I look at it, and I make adjustments to it every single day. Because one thing may get done faster, one thing may take a lot longer time, but I still want to try to get some stuff done. Because just like when people want to work out, I'll work out next week, next month, next year. But if you just do one thing today, whether it's just one push-up to get you in the rhythm, to get you into the habit of doing it, then you do 2 the next day, 3 the next day, whatever. And so I just look at it as that. So I kind of agree with you in terms of that they do change over time. But they also can mix in terms of work versus family priorities, because I do want to spend time with my family, and I have priorities set for that as well. I do my best to try not to intertwine the two. So.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add that right now I'm on my me time. So right now I'm my main priority. So nothing else is gonna come above that. So whatever it is that's most important or valuable to me at that moment, that's my priority. So yeah, okay. Go ahead. What's the next one? Since we beat that clock.
That's what I'm talking about. So let's go to number 2.
All right.
How should you determine what should be a priority in your life? And follow up, is it more about long term? Something I just talked about. Is it more about long term goals or short term goals? Damn, what the hell, man? I can't read that. Hold on one second.
I got it.
Okay, is it more about long term goals, or are short term needs more important? Short term. Oh man, I didn't mess that question up.
we get it. We get it.
All right, let me refresh this here. Hold on one second. Let's go back to the clock. Let me rewind it. 5 minutes and go.
I think wait, what was the question again? How do you determine what's a priority? Was that the question? Because you know.
How should you determine what should be a priority in your life?
I think I just kind of stated that it's whatever's most important to me at the moment. I could be working on, like you said, a project or whatever it may be. And if, say, for instance, my grandbaby starts crying, then that priority shifts. It's no longer working, on that project or trying to finish that deadline. It's okay, let me calm and soothe him and make sure he's good. So that priority, it definitely shifts. So in that instance, I guess it could be kind of short term in that sense of, it's whatever happens in the moment. I could get a phone call and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to drop everything that I'm doing because now what just happened is my main priority. Of course, we, have a long-term goal, but I mean, that goal changes once it's completed. So I don't know if it's more important to focus on the short or the long. I guess we just take those steps to get and complete each task, as it comes, to us. So
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I cut you off just a little bit because I know I got.
No, you good.
Okay. This clock, man, is really getting me. So I agree. I know, right? I agree. Kind of what I just said before about short term and long term goals. I determine priorities by what's going to get to me, get what's going to help me reach my goal.
Mhm.
So let's say for I'm working on a business right now, and I have like top 10 priorities, and some things I have to switch around because some things are out of my control in terms of because I'm not good at currently at like website creation or web or software creation and things like that. So that's out of my control where I'm dependent upon someone else to create that. Even though that was number one on my priority list to get my website up, now as I'm waiting on that, I have to shift my priorities because even though that's the top priority, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to just stop and do nothing until it's done. Now my number one priority is something totally different, which is something I've been working on. And then once that is created, then I'm gonna reshift my priorities again. And that kind of leads to the fact about the short-term goals. Because the long-term goal is to be financially independent, to be able to, help take care of my family, my immediate family, my secondary family, and everything else. That's my long-term goals. And I put that in the drawer. And so then it's the short-term goals that I'm working on, and that changes depending upon the day and what gets done, what gets completed the day before. So that's how I determine it myself in terms of, the short term, which will lead me into the long term, and it will shift, it will change. Because just like you said, there's something immediate, a family situation where you got to adhere to it. That takes over everything, and then you got to kind of reset your priority list again due to that situation that you just came about. Let's go back here. So the next question, number 3. Do you think people tend to overcommit and misplace their priorities? I can't wait to hear what you got to say about that. And how can someone avoid that?
Um, I definitely overcommit. It's funny because I was just telling that to somebody the other day. I think that's part of my sign, being a Sagittarius. I definitely overcommit to like every situation. And that's because it's like I want to be there, I want to help, I want to do all these things to you. But I have to realize, like, girl, you don't have all that in you. You don't have the energy nor the capacity to actually complete all of this. So yeah.
You're funny.
I mean, it's true. It's true. I'll tell you, look, whatever you need, I'm gonna be there, blah blah blah. Yes, 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 yes. And then I'm like, what in the heck did I just say that? Like
Mm-hmm.
I just like I said, I just don't have the capacity for that right now. What was the second part? Because look, this short term.
How can how can someone avoid it if
um
at all possible?
I tend to do make me like a to-do list of, okay, I want to try to accomplish this, by this time. These are, my goals, like you said, goals for the day or goals for the week. So I guess the only way to try to eliminate or, fix that is, I guess when somebody is needing something or requiring or asking something of me, I'll probably have to tell them like, okay, let me get back to you. Let me see if there's, if I have time to actually, fit that in my schedule or complete this. And then I'll let you know within the day, you know, or I might
That's
say,
good.
something like that. Yeah. Cause I really do have to sit and take a minute, to be like, okay, what is it that I need to do? What is a priority for me? Would that be a priority for me? And can I fit it in my schedule? So what about you?
Agree. No, I totally agree because we as individuals cannot do everything for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to take care of ourselves first,
Mm-hmm.
because, just like they talk about in the airplane, you talk about putting on, your mask before you help someone else in case of emergency or whatever. And so I look at it that way, where yes, we overcommit,
Mm-hmm.
because we always want to be pleasing to others, because we want people to like us, and so
Mm-hmm.
we want to say yes, and everything like that. And I did that for many years, to where I say yes, 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 to the point where I was burnt out,
Yeah.
and those yeses start turning to frustration yeses, start turning to not being excited yeses, start turning
Mm-hmm.
into I'm doing this but I hate what I'm doing yeses, to the point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. And so how can someone avoid it? Is to take a step, as every now and then, just kind of recalculate, take a step back. Whether if it's daily, weekly, monthly, but a lot of times we're so caught up in the moment of something that we don't know what's happening until we actually breathe, and we take a step back, because sometimes people may tell us something and we don't hear it, because who are they to tell us that we need to make the changes or adjustments. But we just need to avoid it by taking a step back sometimes and reflect on what it is that our priorities are, and how it is okay to say no, or it also is okay, just like you talked about, to if someone asks you for a favor or something like that, which could be a top priority of theirs, we may just want to simply ask, okay, how long do you think this may take, or what is it, or what is it that you want of me, which is a simple question to ask. So then we know how much time that we need to put into it, say, oh, okay, you know what, I can't do it this week, maybe next week, or you know what, I may not be the right person at this time because I'm committed to this. And so we just have to kind of stand our grounds, knowing that, it's kind of hard to say yes to everything, because then we're going to get stressed out, and then we're not going to put forth our best effort. So.
Right. And let me go back and say that my yes error is making people I'm making them a priority for those who make me a priority. So I'm not just going to say yes to just anybody. It's, you know what I'm saying? Those who are like, oh, okay, no, that's my girl, that's my person. I'm gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I give her the same commitment level that she gives me. So those are who I give my I got you, I'll be there. So
yeah. I got you.
You know.
All right, good one. So I'll find an easier way to do this, but in the meantime, this will work. So number 4, how do you balance we talk about this too. How do you balance personal priorities with work or family obligations? And a follow-up, do you ever feel like something has to give when balancing these things?
Since I don't work the traditional 9 to 5 right now, that can be quite difficult to set aside, okay, these are the hours that I'm going to focus on, the job that's paying me. And then these are gonna, fit in the hours to the commitment that, the people who I made a commitment to, per se. So it's kind of easier when you're in the office, because then you could be like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, I'm done. See you tomorrow, and it's a little bit more difficult when you're at home. So it's hard to find that balance. I know, at least with me, it can be quite difficult, because you find so many distractions where it's
right.
Wait, this came up, that came up, or whatever it may be. So that's something that I'm still working on myself. What was the second part?
Just, do you ever feel like something has to give when you're trying to balance personal and work?
Has to give. That's that compromise, and I don't know if everything will always get your 100%, as much as you want or try. Some things might be at 80% one day. Some things might just be at 50. Be like, look, this is all I got, So yeah, all you can do is do your best, and whatever that might be for that day.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Just, I look at it, to give me an example, is this podcast. This is an important podcast for you and I, as we definitely want you guys listening to like, share, subscribe, send us, you can email us as well. I believe it's support. I'm not even going front. I'm not sure the email. If you go to our YouTube channel, you heard what I said.com, our information is there, or you can actually, we'll talk about it toward the end of this call, how you can reach, or this recording, where you can reach us as well. But if there's some topics that you want us to talk about, definitely let us know. But for sure, like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell and all those good things. But I look at it just as this podcast, and that's the reason why I brought all that stuff up, because this is a priority. And this is kind of a work-related priority, even though we have fun and we do all this stuff, but we have information that we want to share to the world. And it's work, but it's not work as in you punch in, punch out, 9 to 5, where you hate what you do. Right. I love doing this podcast with you. However, there is a balance, because I've made a commitment as well to spend time and do some things with my family after this. And so I look at it where, as long as my family know that they are a priority, and they understand that work is a priority too, because they know that I grind hard, knowing that not only want to set an example, but also I just want to set a foundation for what's to come in the next handful of years. And so they understand how hard I work, and so they know that when it's work time, it's work time. However, when it's family time, it's family time. I put the phone down, and it's all about them, and that's what's going to be happening in the next handful of hours, where it's going to be family time. And if I have to push it back, it's all about one word that we talk about: communication. And so it says, do you ever feel like something has to give when balancing? Yeah, sometimes you may have to shut it down a little bit of work time, close shop a little earlier, or sometimes you have to push something a little bit later. But as long as you're communicating that, hey, I gotta finish this project, it'll take me a little extra hour or so, or can we push this a little earlier so I can do this a little bit later? As long as you're communicating, that's all that matters. Because if you try to do something and you're not communicating, expressing what's happening, what's going on, then people think you're, as they say in this terminology, it's day of age, where you're ghosting them, or you're just ignoring them, or this is more important than that. As long as you're communicating, they won't have that feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. Okay. I definitely agree.
All right, well, we're done with that one.
No, to the next.
Let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back here. Pause it.
Taking away our seconds.
I know, right? There we go. Number 5. Do you think social media and technology affect how we prioritize things in life? And how do you personally stay focused on what's truly important?
To me, no, I don't think social media or technology affects how I prioritize things. Cause I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do what's important, or what's a priority to me. No matter what anybody thinks, feels, or says. So no, that doesn't bother me. The only thing that social media, which that's probably, if I'm gonna be honest, why I didn't really want it to begin with, why I'm kind of new to all of it, because it can be time consuming. But besides that, yeah, I'm gonna do what's best for me in my situation. Go back to the second part. I had the second part in my head. Girl, you got the second part this time. But
how do you personally stay focused on what's truly important?
I don't even know if it's something that you need to do to stay focused on what's important. It's just a matter of it's almost like a feeling, like you know what I'm saying, what it is. So it's like, if that is the priority and that's important to you, you're gonna dedicate, your time. You're definitely gonna be committed to it. So I don't know if there's something that I necessarily do that will help aid that. It's just like, I'm gonna complete this until it's accomplished. So I don't know. Look, this drink, I don't know. That's all I got for you.
It's all good. It's funny because when I couldn't read the first one, because something was in the way, I realized it's only on my end. So some of y'all think I'm can't read or something. It's not that. It's something that was popping up on my screen that y'all couldn't see. So now I realize how to avoid that. So my bad. but to answer the first question, I'm gonna flip it a little bit and say yes, that social media does affect it, because from my standpoint, or just from what I've seen, because I'm not into scrolling and spending all time on that, but people, you do get caught up, where all of a sudden you click on one video, and then all of a sudden an hour or two later you're still clicking on videos. And so I look at it where the technology does affect how we prioritize it, in a sense, because our priorities aren't going to get accomplished at times. Because let's say you may, number one is, let's say if one of your priorities is personal, to lose weight, and your goal is to go to the gym at a certain time, because you want to try your best to whether if you feel your highest energy in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever, you kind of want to stick to it, in terms of, if you feel good to where you exercise early in the morning. I know one of my business partners, he one of the first thing he does before anything, after he, reads his blue cards and prays and all that stuff, is he works out immediately. And that's what he does every single day before everything, to get his juices flowing. That's what he needs to do to get his day started. And I look at it where all of a sudden, if you do that, but then all of a sudden you get an email or a text message, and then like, oh man, sometimes we feel that we have to respond immediately to that message, and then that can go down a rabbit hole where I gotta deal with this now. Or you may get a link to a video to watch, and you watch that video of cats falling down the stairs or something, and then unharmed, but just falling down the stairs, or whatever, and then all of a sudden you click on another video, then all of a sudden 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, and then all of a sudden now it's too late to go to the gym because you got to go into work or something like that. So technology is you got to be careful of screen time. And I look at it with how you stay focused, what's truly important. I have a something on my phone, that a message that I always remind myself is it's kind of direct, but it basically is saying, do what makes you money. Spend your time on what makes you money. Because a lot of the scrolling and watching other stuff, unless it's going to help enhance our personal podcast here, that doesn't make me any money. Yeah, we have time for entertainment and time for ourselves and things like that, but we also have to focus on what's going to get us from point A to point B on our short-term and long-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
that's cool.
I'm trying to stop being a serious.
Screensaver is you are about to manifest everything that you dream for. So that's my screensaver.
I got so many screensavers. I got this one app I got this one app that has a lot of different things on the screensaver. Because it rotates.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, shoot, you can't see it. Well, anyway, but like every hour it changes to another meaning, to another quote or something like that. All right, we're done.
That's cool. I like that. And then I also, how sometimes we'll put pictures of other people. I put a picture of myself to remind myself that, okay, no, you're your priority. You're the main person, so focus on you. So yeah, I do that as well. But I don't have it alternating. I should, Yeah,
it's an app that I have that is called Auto Wallpaper.
Okay.
So if you go to you got the Android or the iPhone?
The iPhone.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's the same, because like on my Android it's called Auto Wallpaper, where you can upload images and things like that, and then every hour it'll rotate.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
So number 6, let's just knock it out here. How do you deal with situations where your priorities conflict with others, like friends, family, or colleagues? And how do you communicate your priorities without feeling guilty?
Leave the question up until I finish, so that way I don't have you.
All right, let me start the timer. Timer.
All right.
All right, there's a timer. Then I'll kind of go back and forth then.
Okay. I guess that's where you determine, which one is more of a priority to you when it's with the friends, families, or colleagues. And I can't say, I would love to say, oh, family comes first, or, then friends, then colleagues, but you just don't know what's, what the situation is, in the instance, it might be, with these colleagues, this is something that's, work related, and, I need to meet with them so that way we can get whatever it is, like you said, to make some money, or, whatever the situation is. So, like I said, I guess it's whichever one holds more value to me at that time. Which that could change. I might be hanging out with family, and then a friend may call, like, come on, let's go, it's Tuesday, let's go, Taco Tuesday or whatever, and I might have to sit there and think and say, okay, well, I was just hanging out with my family, we just watched 2 movies or whatever, we did all this, so okay, now let me go ahead and extend some more time to my friend, so yeah, you just have to sit there and say, okay, did I give enough of myself, in this situation where now that I can move on to the next. So yeah, that's that. And then you're gonna keep it on the timer when I don't know part two.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, on the next one, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments because straight up, because when I switch it back,
Oh,
look,
the
check this out.
timer
When I switch it back,
stops.
yeah, the timer
Oh,
stops. So I might have to go and
oh,
use the timer on the computer and
okay.
just do a share screen or something like that.
Nah,
We'll
I
figure it
just
out.
need to
Like I said, this is our first time, so we'll figure it out. But
I
you
just need
you got
to
all the time in the world. You got all the time in the world.
I
Do
just gotta
your thing.
uh, enhance my memory so I remember what the follow-up questions are.
No, that's all
How do you
good.
communicate your priorities without feeling guilty? That used to be like a big thing for me. I'll tell somebody, ooh, no, like I can't do it. Like my no is a complete sentence. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I have to, express or, explain, my no is no. And then afterwards I'll be like, oh man, now you could have did A, B, and C, you could have did that, and then that guilt sets in. Um, and I'm
Right.
definitely getting better with that because now I'm like, no, you didn't want to do it, so stick with it. Don't let that guilt, rush on in. Just it's like you just got to trust your gut. If you said no right away, there was a reason why you said no right away. And I guess that's why sometimes people say I mean, because I don't explain, my no, because I think that should be sufficient. But I do
Mhm.
realize that some people do need that extra communication, so I'll let them know, like, no, I'm not able to do such and such because I have to focus on this right now. And that's all I'm giving you. I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole of, no, girl, because I got to do blah 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 and this blah blah blah. Like, no, I shouldn't have to explain all of that to you, but I will say, no, this something else is a priority to me. So as soon as I get done, I'll get back to you, and then we can do whatever it is, that they needed or wanted from me. So that's it. I hope that wasn't long.
I don't know because right now we still got 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So, hmm.
Look, turn the timer down to two and a half minutes.
Yeah, well, so let me see something. I'm gonna have to. Let's see what happens if I do this. I'll do this next time. I'll try something different and see what we can do about using the computer timer because I don't know. So I'll just keep this up for now on.
No, I'm gonna try to remember to follow up.
So you know what? Okay, I'll put it this way. I got a timer going, rocking on the background,
Mm-hmm.
and I will tell you where we at. So, how do you deal with situations where your priorities conflict with others, like friends? How you deal with it? So this communication, um, and this goes back to your priorities. 'Cause I know we always want to have fun and everything like that, where life doesn't have to be serious all the time, but we
Mm-hmm.
also have to realize that we have commitments, and that we have deadlines, that we have. And I'm not talking directly at you or anything like that, because as soon as I start saying those two words, I'm like, oh. But just in terms of, because like me, I wanted to have my thing launched the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and circumstances, it didn't happen that way, so I had to reset my priorities. And actually I had to redo my business plan as well as my 30, 60, 90-day goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that with this in mind, I have it set to where I think about family, friends, in terms of making sure that I implement them into my daily schedule, my weekly schedule. Um, and how do I communicate my priorities without feeling guilty? One thing that I learned in my business adventure, probably within the first couple of years. So over how old am I now? 51, over 25 years ago, carry the one minus. So about half my life ago, one of the things that a previous business partner, you know, mentioned to me, or mentioned in a training that I will always remember, is how to prioritize family events in terms of putting the events on a calendar. And to get people excited about that day. Because I know that we always look at birthdays and we, 2 more weeks or 1 more week for our birthday. We always look at certain events, whether if we celebrate or enjoy Valentine's Day or or any other holiday or what have you. Where if you have an event that's happened, I don't know if you put your recent trip on the calendar or anything like that, but I know that you were looking forward to it for a while. But I look at it to where if you have an event for a child, son, daughter, or a friend or a colleague, is to put it on the I'll put it this way, like at home. And let's say if you have a son or a daughter and you have and you want to make sure you spend time with them, you put an event and you put it on the calendar and you circle it, you make it whatever. So every time they see the calendar, they see, okay, Friday we're going to the racetrack or we're going to wherever you want to do. It's your time. And so then throughout the whole week, they know that, okay, my daddy's work, my mom, we're working hard, because I know when Friday night comes out, we're going to the racetrack. And so every day they look at the calendar and they're looking forward to it. And then, finally when Friday hits, it's mommy and me time or daddy and me time. And they look at that and get excited about it, knowing that the days prior to it, that, mommy or daddy may not be around as much. They may be in their office working hard, but knowing, hey, when Friday comes around, it's just that communication, that excitement that leads up to it. Because I'm looking at getting through. You talked about someone's tequila earlier today. The wife and I, we may be going to a concert in the next couple of months here in our town. Mr. Hart himself.
Oh, okay.
And so, when I decided to get these tickets, which I should have gotten last week because I think that's when they first came out. But I'll put that on the calendar because wifey knows that I'm working hard at multiple things to help, in addition to what she does, to help secure our family financial future.
Right.
That if I put that on the calendar along with other stuff, then we look at that this date, boom, KH tickets. And all of a sudden, we just look forward to that. And so that's just so without feeling guilty, knowing that, okay, it's this day where I'm working an extra hour here or working an extra hour here or whatever. And, as long as they know that the common goal is, because like when you have goals that are 10 years down the line or 5 years down the road, what happens today, may not seem as important, but, your colleagues and your family, your friends might not see it as important. But as long as, you let them know, hey, I'm just rambling.
There was a previous question about like the overextending, and as you were talking, it made
me. Which one? This one?
It might have been like 2 or 3 or something. Yeah, when you overcommit, because I don't know if you were hinting when you were talking about it, but I tend to run late like a lot, and people know that about me. They'll be like, "Yeah, we know Precious running behind." They'll be like, "Yeah, she the one friend that we got to worry about. Like, is she gonna make it? Is she gonna make it to the airport in time?" Like,
you'll be the one on the cruise where the boats, and you come right into
exactly. Yeah, that's me, and that's probably because I do tend to overcommit or overextend myself, where I'm saying that yes, knowing that I really don't have that time, to like fit it in. So it's like now I'm constantly rushing, like, oh shoot, okay, I gotta hurry up and do this. You know what I'm saying? And find that energy or that time or whatever it is to get there. So it's nothing personal, guys. It's just, I be having a lot on my plate, just like how Kion said in the beginning, like life just be life, and you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my best, but sometimes I'm gonna fall short. So.
Hey, there's one quote that I use in our family is "Do your best and forget the rest."
No, that's right.
All right, number 7. How do you? And let me start the timer on my end. How do you keep track of your priorities on a daily or weekly basis? And as follow up, do you have any tools or strategies that help you stay on top of them?
That goes back to like I said, in my phone I have my list of my to-do list of things that I need to accomplish, and so those are my priorities. Okay, I got, my 1 through 10. It tends to be a little bit more than 10, but I got that on there.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Right. I'm constantly checking on that. Like, can I scratch something off? Like, let me hurry up and get something done. And I don't know if I have any tools or strategies to stay on top of them besides just the way that my brain operates, where it's like, there was like this one little, it's not really a meme, but somewhere where I said like you gotta close the tabs in your brain too. So my brain operates like that, like, okay, come on, we gotta hurry up and check something off this list. So it's nothing that I do besides my brain saying, okay, we're getting stressed and overwhelmed. Like, let's knock something off because we need to close some of these doggone tabs and some of these file drawers and all of that. We need to close it and lock it and focus on something else. So
how do you keep track of your priorities on a daily? The same thing. I have a to-do list, and I have on a docs form that but also I print it out and print out. And every day I have the top 10 and I redo it. And every day I'm redoing it because I'm like, this isn't as important as this, because every day is a different day. And then every week, just like even earlier today, I reschedule it and reorganize it and printed it out again to keep track. So I look at it, I do it every day, looking at my daily priorities, and because it all changes. Where something gets completed earlier, then I'll have to adjust. If something that's going to take a lot longer, then I have to adjust, making sure that I still commit, X amount of time on a daily basis, but knowing it may take a little bit longer than normal. Do I have any tools or strategies that help me stay on top? Just the Google Docs, and my calendar. That's all.
Yeah. Every time I hear you talk, it makes me go back like, oh yeah, I didn't say this. So that's what I'm adding on at the end. But
we still got. Hold on, let me look at the timer. You still got what? Dude, this doesn't. Now I said that I still got 4 minutes and 55 seconds. I'm like, nah, that ain't true. Oh, dude, I did 4 hours and 55 minutes.
Wow.
All right. So we got 15 seconds.
Okay, well, just one of the strategies, as we were talking about our screensavers, I can literally put my to-do list on my screensaver. So it'll, revolve on there, and I could be like, oh, okay, follow up on this. So every time I look at my phone, I'll see that to-do list. Instead of having to like open it up in the tab, it'll be right there in front of me. So I can be like, okay, let me go ahead and try to check one of these things off. So that was it.
That's cool. I did a 5-hour timer.
What you sitting on?
I love it. Right? Like, you gonna be talking to yourself in a few minutes. Next, how do you know when to shift your priorities? And the follow-up is always a conscious decision, or do you sometimes realize after the fact that a shift has happened? Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep that one up.
Yeah. I shift my priorities when they're either completed or they're no longer serving me or they no longer serve a purpose. So that's what's
important for me. Yeah.
Yeah. When I shift them, and is it always conscious? I guess kind of both. I mean, when you realize after the fact, when you're like, oh, okay, I completed this, you kind of realize like, oh, okay, this is done. I can check it off, and you know what I'm saying, I can shift to something else. But yeah, I guess it's conscious where you're like, okay, like I said, this no longer serves a purpose, or you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, let's move on to the next. This is no longer, a priority to me. I could put something else on the top of the list. So.
I agree. Yeah, because sometimes I look at it, I'm like, dude, I don't need to do this. Or sometimes I can combine the two. And just to give you an example, also, so I had a long list of business priorities, and then I realized after I did actually I have it here, I printed it out. After I did a business plan and a 30, 60, 90-day plan and everything like that. I'm realizing I combined it a couple things that I had on my list, like 3 different things. I combined it all into one because I'm put it all on one website. And I'm like, so instead of having to do this, now my main focus is and this was a conscious decision, so it wasn't after the fact, where I'm like, now I can just focus on one thing, which will incorporate these things, and so I can prioritize it all together instead of trying to do one at a time. Because a lot of times it never gets done. You try to do a little bit here, 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 and then it never gets done. And on top of that, something else gets added.
Yeah.
So that takes forever
Right.
to finally figure something. I love the art of completion. So I love to
Oh,
simplify things and complete instead of continuously being there, because then it starts to get stressful
right.
for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that for sure.
All right, and so number 9, how do you stay true to your priorities in a world filled with distractions and external pressures? And the follow up, do you find it difficult, we talked about this earlier, to say no to things or people that aren't aligned with your priorities?
Timer on.
Nope. Hold on one
Okay.
second. Timer on. Yep.
Okay. For the first part, I'm still working on that because I do get distracted easily. So I don't know how I kind of stay true. I'm
Hey, be honest. It's honest.
yeah, I'm just being real. Yes, because I can get easily distracted, easily flustered, So that's something I'm definitely still working on because I could be like, wait, come on, I'm in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, this sentence, and then something happens, and it's like, then I got to stop, and then I lose my thought, lose my concentration. Then I'm trying to go back, and I'm like, oh, I lost it. I don't know what I was gonna say, and so yes, I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
we say I don't know how I stay true because probably because I don't. So if some distraction or whatever it is takes place, is gonna make me lose my train of thought. So that's something I'm still working on, and I no longer. I think I said this previously. No, I no longer find it difficult to say no. Like, nope, not today. I'm not feeling it. Can't do it. I might even throw in a sorry girl. Like today ain't it, whatever it
I
may
like
be.
that.
But yeah, no, I don't find it difficult at all to say no.
That's good. That's good. So for me, how do you stay true with distractions and external pressures? It's been a lot easier for me the past year or so when I've learned how to breathe.
Ooh, it's a little meditation in there.
Yeah, yeah, that's helped me out a lot in everything in life. It's helped me out with my blood pressure, even though it's a little high this morning.
Mm-hmm.
but it's helped me out with everything. Whether if I'm in the car, at home, dealing with deadlines or what have you. Breathing has relaxed me to the point now where I've never been even like a road rage person, but I'm always like, hey, go right ahead, or I'm or or I may honk knowing that I'm not gonna get upset or mad, but just letting it just kind of put in his brain or her brain to, hey, I saw what you did, just make sure you don't do it to the next person, or whatever. I'm not I've just breathing has helped me relax a lot more in everything in life, and so that's helped me with external pressures in terms of priorities. I do put pressure on myself to complete stuff because I'm realizing that I'm not getting any younger, and oftentimes my body tells me that where I trip over air, like I mentioned that before, and do I find it difficult to say no to things or people that aren't aligned with your priorities? It's been easier again this past year since I've been more relaxed and more kind of about me and my family and what's important, which is going to help me get to my common goal. It's been easier for me to say no. Where as I guess it's been almost 6 months now, maybe, where I kind of broke a partnership with someone I've been working with for uh, over 2 decades. And it was, I finally said no. I can't do it anymore, and because they weren't aligned with my priorities. One of my main priorities at that time, and if you see this, hey, I love you still. Was to be happy waking up and to not be flustered when I was asked to do something,
Hmm.
even though it was for the same common goal. that's when I knew it was time for me to walk away. And so I was able to easily say no, because it was at a point where something I should have accepted to do was more difficult for me to do. And so I realized that it was easier for me to say no. And I'm realizing now it's easy for me to say no if it doesn't align with my sanity as well as my priorities. You got 30 seconds.
That alignment is definitely key. It definitely has to align with your goals. But that breathing part is what I was gonna speak on. That breathing is extremely important. Especially, I was in physical therapy last week, and I was doing some of the exercises, and she's like, "Breathe, girl. Like, breathe through it. Come on. In through your nose, out through your mouth." And I'm realizing, like, that's something I really need to start working on. Is my breathing exercise. Right. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Right, yeah. Speaking of that, so I had as you know, I had the little situation with my eye and everything, right? And talking we talking about breathing. So she was doing my eye pressure, and she's like all in my grill, so I'm holding my breath, because I had a mint, whatever, right. So I knew my breath was funky, but still, a lot of time when people up close, you just hold your breath, and so she's doing. Hold on a second, the timer went out, so I'll be real quick. How do I turn this shit? Okay. All right. So she's like all in my grill, doing the eye. Then what's that?
No, I'm saying my light went out.
So she's in my grill, doing the eye pressure thing, and I'm holding my breath, and it was like in the upper 20s, like 27. And she's like, "Is that normal for you?" I'm like, "No, that's not." And she's like, "Let's try this again. This time, breathe. Breathe." She was like, "I could tell you were holding it in. Can you breathe?" I was like, "Yes." So I'm doing my, in 2 seconds, hold it out 4 seconds, and so I'm breathing, and it went down like 10 points or whatever, and which is normal. And I'm like, damn, I didn't realize, that's when that was like 2 weeks ago, and that's when I really realized how important breathing is and everything, where it could just immediately calm you or immediately take you to a whole nother level just like that within seconds. So I've learned, to breathe, but that's important. Number 10. Oh, go ahead.
Before you go to it, because my laptop battery, it was like, we're no longer with you. So I know it got dark all of a sudden, because I need to grab my charger. Or is it cool just for us to go ahead and?
Sure, I see you. So you're good.
All right, let's go ahead and knock out.
We got one more to go. We got one more to rock it out with. I can still see you. You're not. I see more than your teeth. So.
Sorry, y'all. Right. I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared.
All right, Ocho, but I don't want teeth like yours. Do you ever feel like you're putting off things that should be prioritized? And what steps do you take to stop procrastinating on your top priorities?
I always feel like I'm putting off my priorities.
That's right.
Kind of like a hand in hand, because I do tend to procrastinate, and this is probably bad to say because I think I do better when I procrastinate, and it's probably like, oh shoot, this is due at midnight, let me hurry up and knock this out and get it done. I think I kind of do my best work at the last minute.
Can you brainwash yourself to think differently, and instead of it's due Thursday, to where you tell yourself it's due Wednesday? Are you able to do something like that?
I am not, because we talked previously about a deadline that I had, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna give myself till 3:00 the next day, and I'm gonna have it done." And it's still not done. So my brain is not wired to work that way. I'm probably sure I can. But right now it's like, no, that ain't us. So I guess I answered that. Yes, I'm always putting off things that should be prioritized.
Don't use not always.
Okay, not always, but there are times that I will not prioritize things that are extremely important to the structure of my life. And I guess the steps I need to take is I have to tell myself, like, are you okay with not meeting that goal? Are you okay with not reaping the benefits that come along with that prioritization or not? So, and I don't ask that because it's like, okay, if I don't meet this deadline, then this doesn't get turned in, and ultimately I'm not gonna get paid. So it's like, oh, okay, like we got to switch some things up. So yeah, I have to definitely work on that. I have to definitely work on the procrastination because I mean I've been doing that since I was young. So yeah, and these are definitely top priorities. So it's something I got to
Now,
fix. And I heard the double.
not young, but young.
I heard it. What about you?
So, yeah, I mean, mine's gonna be quick. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
do feel like putting things off that should be prioritized. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
we're human.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm not sure anybody that has not put something off that should be a primary focus.
Mm-hmm.
And what steps do you take to stop procrastinating on your top priorities? I don't know. It's a work in progress as well. It's to the point where eventually you just get so frustrated that you're spinning your wheels, and you're just like, okay, sometimes you just gotta put your foot down and just actually I take that back. One thing that helps me is like I talked about a couple questions ago, is I'll do something, and
Mm-hmm.
then that'll give me more to do something else. So I put something on. If I have something that's important and I keep on procrastinating, not doing it, I'll look at it and then I'll just pull. I'll sometimes it may be something as simple as just putting up the website that I have to. Let's say if I got to research something, or if I got to do, I'll instead of just not doing anything, one day I'll just put up the website, and then that may actually be it. But then all of a sudden that gets me where I see it up there. I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, okay, I gotta get, and then I'll do something else, and eventually it'll get done. But that helps me, is to do something, because I know if there's a task that's gonna take hours or days or weeks, I'll keep on putting it off, knowing that it's gonna be a while for it to be completed. So I won't even start it. And so what I'll do after I get so frustrated internally, I'll just start something, whether if it's, like I said, just put up a website or whatever. And then also that'll kind of mentally, that'll get me rolling again. So I know what works for me. So that's what I do, where I'll just take one step forward and then get it done. Eventually it'll get done. Whether if it's even working out or my eating habits, I'll do something differently, which is not overdoing it to where I'm not spending hours on the first attempt. I'm just spending, a couple moments, but it's getting me mentally in the habit to, do more.
My problem is I don't always prioritize my health, and my health in the sense of sleep. So since I don't get, what I'm saying, those 8 hours, and I wake up and
Eight
I'm
hours. When was last time?
look, I barely get 5 or 6. So
I
it's
hear
like
you.
so it's like I'm usually just exhausted and I just don't have the energy to get most of these things done because I'm so
Right.
overwhelmed with everything. So yeah, that's definitely a concern of mine. So yeah, okay. Well, we got through it. It took us forever, but we got through it.
And I got through it.
Okay, let me go ahead and finish up with you. I got a little bit left.
Shot. Here we go. But
So yeah, just like how Kion said earlier, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, all that goodness. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We're here. We're ready. We're open to listen. Thank you for the new followers on Instagram. I'm still like, real new to this, and it's just, a few new people, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your love and your support.
And in terms of thanking you directly, how can you be reached on social media?
I can be reached at Precious Said 888. What about you, Kion?
Kion said 37.
It's funny because people are like, yeah, let me follow you. What's your whatever it's called? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, here's my phone. Like, can you find it? Like, I don't know how you find me. Like, you look it up. So yeah, I'm weird.
Hey, follow process,
Right.
and for those of you, send the comments too if you like if you like the new format that we attempted today. And I
Right.
say attempted because it wasn't perfection, but it's an idea. We're looking at having a topic of the day or of the week, and then kind of breaking it down to a handful of minute segments. If you think 5 minutes is too long, what are your thoughts about having it at 3, so we can have more, or 2.5,
Right.
or what have you? If you like this back and forth, where we can get more in, let us know. Leave us a comment, and we appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. And I think if we want to start some today, we can have our word of the day. And I think today's word of the day would be breathe. Like that's just so valuable.
And we'll put that up on the screen for you as well.
Right. Just stay tuned. We're gonna definitely be more consistent for you guys. We're gonna make sure that this is a priority for us. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
All right.
They're gonna be like, how many hairstyles she gonna do in this episode?
So what's up?
Nothing. I hope these earbuds work because I have no idea what my others.
Do you have them on? The reason I'm asking is because you sound far away.
Yeah, I have them on. These are I don't even know if these don't even have a mic, so it might not even make sense if I have them on. I'm looking like these are ones I grabbed from the airplane. Yeah, they just straight earbuds. So I don't have anything. So you just gonna have to hear me like
I've been on low ink for 6 months.
That's crazy that you're still able to see stuff with it saying low ink. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I will.
Paper.
No, every few weeks I have to clean the nozzle head, do the automatic clean on the nozzle head because of that. Because it does where you can like see every other word, or it's like dark and light or whatever. So like when I see that happen, I got to clean the nozzle head, and I'm good for another few weeks.
You wild. But up in there shaking and saying like, I know it's some more in there. Let me